Everyone, you have right here, I'm talking about understanding about dice, and you're understanding about whenever you roll the dice right here, it's basically another way of how you want to cause is to where that you're playing a game, right? And a lot of times it sure seems that way that each time I do think about that, and I'm more as to where that anything that maybe that you can build with a set of dice, and if you were to think about dice, maybe just a little bit like building blocks or maybe game pieces or something like that. And you begin to worms as toward that you always worms as toward it when it comes to understanding about dice right here, and if you got two sets of dice right here, and your worms as toward okay, yeah, so basically, that whenever you do watch the president on TV right here, and you have the time, you're always 102 as to where that what exactly is he saying whenever it comes to understanding about all this stuff that he's talking about, including the fact that that he's thinking of that is to where he doesn't know what the next steps are. He doesn't really know what to say about this or that or so. But still, that talk about guess what, America. America rebuilt overnight right here. So it sure seems that way that, what exactly is it that, whenever you do see him on TV, do you look at him like a logo, like a logo to where that, he knows where to start, but of course it's not going to be his favorite part, from where to start. And a lot of times you always want to know too is to where that hey, if you want to go ahead and roll some dice and want to know is if the dice do land on the four or maybe the two or something like that. But still, so what exactly is it? Whenever you do, see the president come on TV a lot of times, that what exactly is it that you're necessarily thinking about whenever it comes to understanding about what the president is doing? And you begin to wonder as toward, oh, okay, yeah, that America rebuilt overnight right here. And so what exactly does that even mean in general? And I use that word, by the way, just because as to where it sounds like to me that the president is trying to take control of the process, and he's also trying to think as to where that this is not done right, that's not done right, and then I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that, and so it's like it sure seems that way that whenever you do see the president show up on TV, and you're thinking is this toward okay, so yeah, what exactly is it that you're going to be doing about that? And so I have right here is this dice right here, and we can all see this right here that if I were like yeah, if you were to actually build something out of this dice, I mean it sure seems that way that does the president maybe think as toward it yeah, that so if we were to rebuild the economy, if we were to rebuild the United States of America right here, do you think that maybe that's going to work like magic to where that you can go ahead and just move these pieces around and thinking that that's going to change a lot? That's going to change the direction from where our economy is going. And so it sure seems that way that, everybody might say that, just by moving these pieces around, and you're 102 is to where, okay, yeah, that, so basically that, if you were to start any sorts of activity game right here, you know what? You got these different shapes and sizes right here, and your worms is toward it. Name one thing that maybe that you can do whenever it comes to creating jobs. Whenever it comes to straightening the economy. Whenever it comes to what you can control about where this country is going. And you always want to know too is toward. Oh, okay. So basically that whenever you do look at the dice right here, these dice right here is more likely an example right here of like a language, to where the, oh, okay, yeah, this right here is supposed to mean something, that right there is supposed to mean something. So it sure seems that way that whenever you move the dice around right here and your words toward, okay, so what sorts of shape are we looking at right here? So it sure seems that way that whenever you do think about that in your words toward, oh, okay, yeah, so basically, whenever you have maybe two pieces of dice right here, the first question that's going to come to your mind is that what exactly is it that you're putting together right here? Whenever it comes to understanding about that, the president, about Trump's tariffs, and then all the other things that have been going on, and your words as toward, okay, yeah, so basically, are we trying to make things equal, or are we just trying to make things look like that? Okay, this is from where it was going, but then after I moved it around a little bit, or like everybody might say that, exactly that. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make some accomplishments and put it in his name. Saying that this is me, this is President Trump, putting this together. Yeah, this is President Trump here, or something like that. So it sure seems that way. That whenever it comes to understanding about the fact about whenever it comes to building something in U-102 is toward yeah, well, I think I do know what he's doing is toward he wants to do it his way. He wants to, yeah. So these dice right here, and like everybody might say, that rolling the dice right here, if they were both facing the direction of fours right here, then it's basically another way of saying is toward it. You got equal right here. You got two teams that want to agree on something, but if they're facing in the opposite direction, then for sure, right? And it seems like that toward it. Oh, okay, yeah. So if they're facing in the opposite direction, so what shape would that be right there? Everybody might even say too that yeah. So what do you call a shape to where it it's facing in the opposite direction right here? You know, uh, Maybe not magnet or whatever, but like you said, that why do you think that you would want to use a set of dice for an example right here? But I'm just saying that you have right here are talking about with the set of dice right here, and people might say is toward okay, yeah, that so you look at the dice right there, and your words is toward it. Okay, yeah, so pretty much that from how you roll it right here, that you're thinking is toward oh, okay, that so from what side that it lands on right here, that people might even say is this toward what exactly is it that you're building here, and some people might even say is this toward the way how it's positioned, just like this. You're trying to get it to fit. You're trying to get it to come together. You're trying to get these pieces to come together right here, and people might even say is this toward oh, okay, yeah, well, first of all, I'm like, it sure seems that way that when we move the dice around right here, and U-102 is toward, oh, okay, yeah, that how most dice are designed right here. Most sets of dice, you know, are are designed to where it if you were to roll, then if you were to land on a 2 or maybe on a 4 or maybe 5 or 6 right here, and I think the highest it goes is a number 6, but I was thinking that does it roll on an 8 or something like that, but still that you always wonders as to where that yeah, two sets of dice right here sideways and then stacks right here, but still that so it sure seems that way that whenever you do look at the at the reading at the papers and everything, and your 102 is toward it. What exactly do you think the president is trying to say whenever it comes to straightening the economy and maybe creating jobs and then lowering our prices and all that stuff, and talking about climate change and everything? What do you think that he's basically trying to say? And it seems like to me, it seems like what he's saying is toward it. I would like to expand America. I want to buy I want to buy some land to make a. Yeah. I want to arrange it to where that we want to make one of those continents, the 51st state. And a number of things that he's talked about, and so it sure seems that way that it's like yeah, that you know uh, he might more likely well. He's more likely going to try. People might even say is this toward yeah, try. go ahead and try. You want to go ahead and try, or whichever, and like everybody might even want to know too, is to, okay, yeah, you go ahead and try right here, but still, that, everybody might even want to know too, is that, try right here, but, so what exactly is it, do you think that, that Trump is trying to do right here? He's trying to manage things his way, but still, that anybody might say is this toward I don't know right here, but still, talk about for America rebuilt, overnight right here, and you begin to wonder as toward okay, so basically, what you're saying is as toward you want to take credit, for anything that happens overnight, right? You want to take credit. You want to take credit, You want to take credit, for what happens overnight, far as, any good accomplishments, So everybody might even say this toward it, yeah, well, yeah, that's, but still, that, so everybody might even want to know too, is toward, okay, yeah, that, you know, uh, why do we think that why do you think America even needs that, or why do you think that we even need to do this or do that right there? But still, that so it's basically another way of saying is toward it, yeah, that you know, uh, he doesn't really want to rebuild America, but he just wants to do things his way. He wants to do things his way, and he wants to make it, think as this toward it, yeah, I'm in charge. This is the way how I'm going to manage it. I'm the president of the United States. So I'm going to go ahead and do it my way. My way, and that's another way too, is this toward it, yeah, that, so basically, it's another way of saying is toward it, if I do, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild America, just because of the fact that, you know, uh, I would like to know is toward it, that, I would like to know that this was done under the Trump's administration and all that stuff, but, stuff like that. But, anyway, but, talking about understanding about what the president is talking about whenever it comes to rebuilding and straightening the economy and everything, rebuilt overnight right here. And people might say this toward it, yeah, he wants to take credit, take for Trump right here, take credit. So it's like, yeah, take credit. So you want credit for anything any of the hard work that gets done, right? And so everybody might say is this toward, yeah, and I think that that's the point, is that, he wants credit for anything that gets done under his administration, despite about, you know, uh, how much hard work they put into it or whichever. But, I just really think in a lot of ways too that, I just really think the president also needs to realize too is toward it, yeah, that, the things that do get accomplished and all that, but still, that whenever it comes to understanding about America rebuilt overnight right here. So it sure seems that way that, most of us would even say is toward it, rebuilt overnight right here. What's one likelihood that, for what, for a lot of those promises to be fulfilled, and you always wonder as toward it, do you have an idea about what's going to happen next, far as what he's planning on doing within the next year or so, from his second term. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.